So my name is Kayla McKinney. I go to Omaha Memorial Church. The reason why how we found this church was we were just looking for that spark, and came here and had a great experience.
My name is Sandro Sandoval. I am the lead pastor of the Omaha Memorial Church, and I have the pleasure of leading the Adventist movement in the community of Omaha, Nebraska. I met Kayla about a year ago, over a year ago. I got an email from somebody that claimed to be the coordinator or someone who was leading a group of Seventh-day Adventists that are deaf. And they wanted to come and visit our church. I replied back and say, how is this gonna work? Because I don't know ASL. I say, don't worry, we're bringing someone who is going to help us. We have a friend who helps us. And they came, they showed up into my church, and there was Kayla, and that was the first time that I met her. She was the interpreter for this group.
So I have a wonderful group that are Seventh-day Adventists. Yes, I struggle saying that sometimes. Seventh-day Adventists. And I knew that when we got together, we all agreed that we wanted to try out different churches, and just really feeling that spark and feeling his presence. And so we contacted Omaha Memorial in the church and set up a wonderful Sabbath day. And we got here and sat up in one of the first few pews, and I just was like, all right, God, let's do this, like I was very nervous sitting all, I feel like we all had the same kind of like, did you feel that? That little patter in their heart. Yeah, I remember being up there the first time and signing, and I kind of looked off to the side, and I can just see that they're very engaged and really feeling. I think we just kind of made that eye contact, like, okay, this is nice.
This was a one-time deal. They were coming to visit the church. They had been going to different churches throughout the last few months, and they were just visiting once. And they felt very welcomed. They enjoyed the fellowship, the kindness, the connections that they made at Omaha Memorial. And they told me they were coming back the next Sabbath. And because they were coming back, then Kayla came back, and she continued to come back. And she's been part of our Omaha Memorial family for the last year.
I felt comfortable. Sometimes coming from not really as well-versed, and then coming into a beautiful church like Omaha Memorial, and just really having a humbling experience, to be vulnerable for God and to be in the moment. Really, I reflected a lot that day.
I met Kayla, and she is very nice. It was very easy to become acquainted with her and even connect with her. And as part of her story was this reality that she was very interested in her spiritual growth. She knew she wanted to connect with God, and she asked me if we could have Bible studies, if we can study the Bible. So a week or two after the first time that she came, we met at a coffee shop. It was our first Bible study. We spent sometimes way too long just going through the Bible study, but specifically in certain points, there was lots of insights that she brought. I immediately knew that this was a person who knew God and had experienced and tasted the love of God, the mercy of God, the grace of God, which is something I'm very interested in. So at times we had Bible studies that lasted an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it was beautiful. It was very beautiful. And from the beginning, she was clear that she wanted to give her life to Jesus. She didn't know how. So over the period of a few weeks, as we studied more, she understood that what she had was real, and she decided to get baptized soon. and now it's soon.
I feel different. I feel lighter. I feel kind of like that poem I mentioned recently in a sermon that I did. I mentioned a poem called Footprints in the Sand. I feel like that best describes how I feel in this moment, where in the hardest times of my life, I didn't realize that God was there every step. And so now that I realize that when times do get hard, or when times are just times for praising, I know that God's there and that He is there every step of the way.
In the name of Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
In Omaha Memorial, we are very blessed to have people from diverse backgrounds, not just ethnically or educationally or socioeconomical backgrounds, but also from different experiences. When this group came to church, it ignited an interest in our young children to learn more of these ways of communications, and other adults started practicing their ASL sign-in, and pretty soon we knew how to say Happy Sabbath and other words like that. And it created a movement.
I've already started this beautiful journey, but to grow from here now, and then I can't imagine what next year would be like, and the year after that, like what, and just trusting in Him, and which brings excitement and joy, just because I know that where I once was before to now is such a huge growth and transformation because of God.
So the call for the church to action is always preceded by the work of the Holy Spirit in the heart of the person that He's sending us to. And I am beyond excited and very hopeful to see the wonderful people that we are yet to meet, that are being touched by the Holy Spirit, and will soon also be part of this movement here in Omaha, Nebraska.